Today's project, I bought this CRV. It's a 2001. It's not in bad shape. It drives pretty good. Got a couple little issues, but nothing I can't deal with. I blew the motor in my truck a little while ago, and I really need a truck, but most of my jobs I have the material delivered and stuff on, so it's not terrible. And I had a 3/4 ton Dodge, and I was getting 10 miles to the gallon with it. And I'm up here at our property in Cairo, and it's an hour's drive each way from where I'm living until I sell the house. And it's almost a 100-mile round trip by the time I get up here and do anything and go back. And at 10 miles a gallon, it's cost me 9 or 10 gallons or maybe more of fuel every time I run up here. And I'm up here a lot. So I decided to get this little CRV. My wife has one, and we really like it. But I need to put some roof racks on it. I need to be able to throw a 2x4 or something on there if I need it or whatever. So I'm not happy with the factory racks that come on these things. So I'm gonna fabricate my own racks the way I want them. It might look a little bit funny, but it'll be much more useful for me. So what I'm gonna do, there's a strip right here. Yeah, let me get something. There's a strip right here that if you pick this up like that, there is a series of bolt studs sticking up. And this is where the factory racks were meant to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of steel in here that will bolt down to these. There's 3 of these along here. And then I can come up and fabricate the racks off of that. And this is where the factory puts the rack, so it's probably the most solid place to do it. When I get done, I can trim this piece back off to go around these places and weatherproof them in, and it should be okay. And it'd probably be the strongest I can get for roof racks on this. One of the reasons I don't like the factory ones is I think they're too flimsy. So I'm looking for something that will hold some weight, but at the same time not be too heavy on the top. So we'll see how it goes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make these pieces that come up and fasten to the car, and then I can fabricate my racks. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'll probably do the 2 in the front and take it from there. All right, these pieces will go in that channel. I'll drill 2 holes in there, and that'll bolt it down to the roof. And from there, I can come up with my uprights to run the racks across. So now I just got to figure out the bolt placement and drill them holes. Because there's a slight curvature in the roof, and this piece is straight, in order to make that fit down in there, I got to kind of trim this edge off a little bit. So that's what I'm doing now. Now, as you can see, there's your There's your stud sticking up, and I had to trim this a little bit on this edge. And now that drops in there. Now I can put bolt nuts on these studs. And what I'll do is I'll come up with a piece of this on either side, like a triangle, and my rack will fit in between there. So I'm gonna have to do some fancy fabricating here and cutting to get that piece to lay down in here. So that'll be my next step. The reason why I'm doing it this way instead of just coming up is I want to, first of all, it'll be stronger, and it allows me to put my bolts in here. So I just thought a triangle would be much stronger, and I still have room to put the bolts in. That's why I'm doing it this way instead of just a post. I could have just come straight up with a post, but I thought it would have a tendency to tip. This way it's kind of locked in there, it really can't. And the shape of the top of the roof is not flat. So I got to kind of adjust for that. And this allows me to put it in there and tip it a little bit this way to get it straight. You know, get it where I need it, tack it, bring it in, then finish welding it. It's a little bit sloppy because I want to be able to adjust it when I get it on the roof. So the next step is I'm going to bolt these down to the roof temporarily, and then I can put this thing in place and tack it, then take it off and weld it. I'm back working on these racks today. I was busy and I haven't been able to get back on them for a few days. It's the middle of January and it's 50 some degrees out here. It's beautiful. It's supposed to rain. It looks like it could at any time, so I'm going to take advantage of this weather before the rain and see if I can get some of this rack work done. I kind of need them done. See, these studs here is how I'm fastening it down. These came on the car, so I just had to get nuts for them. As you can see, got these clips here that this thing just sits down on, and that clips in. I'm going to fill this area in here with caulk because the water's just going to lay in there. And I have some black caulk, and I'll just put that in as neat as I can. And that will keep the water from laying in there. This will be a real bugger if I ever have to take these racks off, but I really don't anticipate doing that. Now I'm going to show you a little trick when it comes to caulk. Put your caulk on, then wet your hand. And by wetting the caulk, you can smooth it out a lot better. This is still a little tricky because I got so much stuff in my way, but and the caulk on the car itself will wipe right off with water. And then you can smooth it out. So there you have it. Got the racks on the car. Got my fingerprints all over them. But I don't really care about that. I should carry what I need to carry. Thanks for watching.